Peace, good people. Baldhead Haverford here, and welcome to my channel. Newbies, if this is your first time visiting with me, this is the very first video you've ever seen of mine. Make sure you go back and watch a few of the older videos. Everything on my channel is timeless, so whenever you watch it, there's going to be something in whatever video you choose to watch. It's going to be something there for you, okay? OGs, returnees, hello, welcome back. I appreciate you returning. So, because of the title, I'm sure you're here because you wanted to get the rest of the Lilith in the signs explanations and analyzation of that particular placement that's in everybody's chart, right? Lilith is in everybody's chart. Make sure you go back and watch oh God, it was probably 3-4 videos back where I spoke on Lilith in the earth signs, Lilith in water signs. And I even did a video prior to that where Lilith energy kind of took over my my video because I did not plan on doing a Lilith vid, but the Lilith energy just kind of took it over. So you can watch that one too. Just find the ones that have the word Lilith in it and watch them, okay? So this is actually part 2 where I'm going to do Lilith in the air signs and Lilith in fire signs and how she shows up and shows out when she's in those signs. Now, as I mentioned, the previous video, I did earth and water, and I also spoke on how she shows up in men. So when she shows up in women, it's how we act when we're moving in our Lilith. When she shows up in a man, the Lilith in a man's chart shows the type of woman that he fears, the type of woman that he reveres and honors, the type of woman that he worships, the type of woman that he's naturally, cosmically, and maybe even sexually drawn to. He might not even know why, okay? It's just something about that particular type of woman. It may not even be his preference, but it'll be something about that type of woman that he will be automatically drawn to, right? So let's go ahead and get started. Get my little sage piece going. Go ahead and give you guys some good energy, okay? As I give it to myself as well, okay? It won't get in the way. So let's go ahead and talk about Lilith in Gemini, because Lilith in Gemini, she's a truth seeker when she's there. Okay. When a woman has her Lilith in Gemini, she's going to be very, very cautious about what people are saying. Okay. Gemini itself is ruled by Mercury, so they are very mercurial type people anyway, which means that they're always hearing what you're not saying, and they're analyzing and breaking down and observing what you do say, even if they got a smile on their face while you're talking to them. Don't think you putting nothing or getting nothing past a Gemini, period, but especially a woman who has her Lilith there. When she's there, she is absolutely seeking truth. Her darker, she's already dark, but if she decides to use that energy as a weapon, she could go to the other side of that, where she can become manipulative, where she can become a liar, where she can become the type of person that will finesse you right on up out of whatever she's trying to finesse you out of, and you probably won't even know it, because they have the ability to what's the word I'm looking for? They have the ability to seek and know when someone's lying, but they also have the ability to hide when they're doing that. So it really depends on what energy Lilith is pulling from, with it being in Gemini. That determines what she's going to use it for. But if you really want to piss a Lilith and Gemini woman off, lie to her face. Lie to her when she's giving you the opportunity to tell the truth. If you want to see her mount up and show out on you, lie to her directly to her face. You're going to see a version of that particular woman probably turn into something you've never ever seen, because keep in mind, Gemini already has the ability to tap in and out of their different frequencies. They are the Gemini and Pisces have the ability to naturally flow in and out of different characters, in and out of personalities, in and out of, they're naturally bipolar, because Gemini is the sign that is represented by the two faces, and Pisces is the sign that is represented by two fish. But they're the only signs in the zodiac that are represented by duality. So with this Lilith in Gemini energy, you're absolutely going to feel the wrath of that other face if you lie to them in their face. If you just sit for no reason, just volunteering lies. Again, a lot of times you won't even know that they know you lying, because they are not a grimps face type person. So you won't really be able to read the fact that they're reading you. They're probably going to let you just keep talking and get yourself tangled up to the point where, I'm going to move this because it may be aggravating y'all. It's not aggravating me though. But yeah, a lot of times they'll let you just, they'll give you the rope so you can hang yourself, so to speak. So be careful. You know, I'm a firm believer that, you know, you better know who you're dealing with. And if you are a liar, then you better make sure you're not dealing with a person that has 0 Gemini in their chart, especially if their Lilith is there. Okay. Now, a little bit more about her being there. She also is a wild spirit. She's already a wild spirit, period. But when she's in Gemini, she's very free spirited. She's air. So you can't hold her down. You can't trap her. Your whisperings of sweet nothings is not going to make her ground herself in you, because she is fun there. The only thing that brings her out of her fun when she's in Gemini is if she's around a bunch of people who are lying, around a bunch of people who are or dealing with a person who is just a habitual liar like that, right? Now, again, she also has the ability to tap her duality, which is she can also become that. She can lie to your face and you would never know it. Okay, so just Lilith and Gemini people, understand your duality and understand, you know, what makes you move to the left or move to the right. Okay, now when a man has his Lilith and Gemini, I believe that he seeks the type of woman who tells him the truth no matter what, even to his detriment. He wants the type of woman who keeps it real, as we say, right? And most men say they want that, but some men can't handle the truth, right? Some men you have to lie to. Some people you have to lie to because they're not emotionally mature enough to handle the truth. And people always say, you know, everybody wants the truth. No, everybody don't. Some people want you to continue to lie to them because they can't emotionally digest the truth. Well, Gemini is not like that. And a man who has his Lilith in Gemini is not like that. If his Lilith is in Gemini, he can handle the truth. He just wants you to be honest and tell him the truth. And he'll know that you're not telling the truth because he has this innate ability to know the type of woman that stands in the truth. Okay, I mean, and of course, this is going to be a very harsh but realistic example. But if you have cheated on a man who has his Lilith in Gemini, he just wants you to be honest. He wants you to tell him. I don't even think he's gonna leave you, because what he's looking for is you to hold yourself accountable that you did it. 9 times out of 10, he already knows, but he's looking for you to tell that he did do it. I mean, that you did do it. Now, men who's dealing with a woman who has her Lilith in Gemini, don't lie to her about cheating. If she comes to you and she asks you, are you cheating? Now, of course, this is just an example, y'all. But if she's asking you, are you cheating? Have you cheated? 10 times out of 10, she knows that you have. She's just going to see if you're going to lie to her face. As the young folks say, playing in your face. Are you going to play in her face? Or are you going to say, you know what? I did. I'm caught. And whatever you do after that, you know, will be based on the type of relationship you have with this person. But first and foremost, the Lilith and Gemini person wants you to stand on truth. You did it. Own it. Claim it. Do you understand? Okay, so if you're dealing with a Lilith and Gemini person, if you are a Lilith and Gemini person, now you get a little understanding on why communication and truth and honesty is very important to you. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Lilith in Libra. Lilith in Libra is probably the more softer placement for her, because she's conjunct Venus. So it makes her a little more understanding. It makes her a little more receptive. It makes her a little more feminine when she's in Libra. So all she's looking for when she's in Libra is balance. She wants harmony. Even in her dark aspect, she wants harmony. She wants cooperation. She wants things to work together cohesively. She doesn't like chaos when she's in Libra. Now, this is funny talking about her because she is a chaos being, okay? The Lilith is a chaos being, but when she's in Libra, she's not so quick to jump into her chaos because it brings her out of alignment, because she seeks balance and she seeks it with love. She seeks it with a frequency of togetherness, unity. Okay, so she's very, very, in my opinion, and this is not to call y'all weak, people who have Lilith in Libra, but I will say this is one of her weaker aspects, because she's not weak like this in any other sign. Now, she does have another side of her that will show itself, and it will unbalance her scales if she has to go there, and that is when she doesn't feel supported, when she doesn't feel heard, when she doesn't feel seen. She will do things that will be outlandish and out of character. Okay? It'll make her scales balanced until you, whoever caused her scales to become that way, until you fix it. Libra wants you to fix it. They are the sign, really the only sign in the zodiac that needs you to fix whatever caused them scales to be imbalanced, because they are a codependent sign. Libra is a codependent sign, and it's because they have those scales too. And I can actually throw them in the same category as Gemini and Pisces, being represented by a duality, right? Because there's two scales that represents Libra. And those scales have to remain like this. If they tip just a little bit, it throws a Libra, no matter where the placement is, it throws a Libra completely off. They become chaotic, right? So when she's there, anything that's out of alignment will make her chaotic. Now, what would make her chaotic? Like I just mentioned, not supporting her, not hearing her, not offering the level of love that she's giving in return, because Libras are givers. They give. And in the process of giving, they want you to, it's a reciprocity thing. They want to give and receive, right? And when you don't do that with Libra, you will see, when you don't do that with Lilith in Libra, because she don't act like this one. Libra sun, Libra moon are gonna, they're gonna pretty much keep trying. But with that Lilith in Libra, the more she has to continue to try to keep those scales balanced, because you've knocked them off balance, the more you're gonna see a darker, chaotic aspect of her. And she will do just about anything. And to you, the person who's dealing with a Lilith in Libra, you're going to think she's gone mad, because again, she's probably going to start to do things that you've never seen her do, because maybe you fixed the scales in the previous, previously in other situations. But if you allow her scales to get unbalanced and you don't fix it, you will begin to see her mount up. Now, on the other vids, I had my book down here that showed a picture, a very wonderful depiction of Lilith, but I don't have the book down here today. So just go back and watch that other vid so you'll understand why I say mount up, because she has claws as feet. And you will see her mount. And when I say mount up, that's when you're going to see this dark beast hover over you vibrationally, energetically, okay? And hey, she might even shapeshift. I don't know. But you will see a version of her that you have never seen unless you're the kind that continuously throws her scales off, right? So now let's talk about a man who has his Lilith in Libra. He seeks, needs, desires, wants a woman who is peaceful, a woman who knows how to fix things, because we know that not every day is peaceful. So a man who has his Lilith there knows that there are going to be days where things can go up, things can go down, but he requires and desires a woman who can, or who knows how to and can fix a situation. This type of man does not like chaos. This type of man does not like imbalance. This type of man needs to stay in harmony with his woman. He desires that. Now, he may not understand why he's like that. Okay, maybe all his life he's probably been told, "Oh, you weak," or "You like women, you let women run over you," or "You the type of man that you follow your woman," and he's okay with that, even if he tries to deny it in front of his boys. No, trying to play the macho role, right? But deep down, naturally, on the inside, he is the type of man that desires a woman, the type of woman who she really can do anything to get him back how she wants him, because she's a fixer and he desires a fixer, okay? And I'll just speak on maybe a dark aspect of that. Maybe he caught her cheating, but she came to him and fixed it. Maybe did some of her Libra Venusian things, and it pulled him back in. She fixed the scales, okay? Whatever that may be, because every woman, has a different way of fixing things. Well, a Libra woman is, no telling what. I mean, because Libra women are very creative. They're very crafty, they're very artsy. A lot of them can cook, a lot of them they're bakers, they can sew, they can just create shit out of thin air. So, sorry y'all, she's probably the kind that's gonna do it all to get him back. And in his mind, because of his Lilith placement, that's fixing it. Now, his homeboys, "Oh, you forgave her, man. I can't believe she did that. She spent all your money. She woo, 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 woo." He might play the macho role with his homeboys, but he is going to be in love with that Lilith woman who is a fixer, that Lilith in Libra woman who enchanted him. Because pretty much that's what she's going to be doing. She's going to be using her crafts and all her gifts and skills to enchant her man, to get them scales back balanced, okay? And because she craves harmony and she doesn't mind going first to bring the harmony, it's not that the man's not going to have to do anything. The fact that he's going to be receptive to whatever Lilith and Libra does to fix it is him playing his part. So it's not like Libra is doing it all to fix it and he's doing nothing. His receptivity is all Libra wants, because Libra knows that she has to get her scales back balanced, right? So, yeah, Libra, and I said earlier that she's probably the weakest in Libra, and I say that and I stand on that because she's not that caring and not that patient and not that willing in other signs, but in Libra she is, okay? So Lilith and Libra women, you actually have a it's really a beautiful placement, because you don't necessarily have to move in her chaotic energy the way other signs have to, or the way other signs not necessarily have to, but the way they easily jump into her chaoticness when they have, whatever other placement she's in. But with Libra, chaos is not your first jump. Your first jump is to, I got to fix these scales. I got to fix these scales. I got to get back balanced. I got to get back in alignment. I have to get back, Balance. And that's also why Libras stay in relationships as long as they do. Because as long as the person allows Libra to always get back in balance, ain't nobody going nowhere. So Libras can stay places for a very long time as long as they are allowed to enchant and bewitch them scales, okay? But the very minute that you try, so I'm sorry, this is the part that I did not get to. When you want to see her mount up, don't let her try that. Don't let her try to fix them scales and bake you them cookies and cook you that big dinner or make you your favorite this or fix your that or whatever she's trying to do. Reject that. Not be receptive to it. Tell her, no, I don't want you no more, or no, this is the last time. Then you will see her mount, and there's no telling what she will do. Like I said earlier, outlandish acts of chaos, okay? Because what you're doing is denying her the ability to balance, okay? All right. So now let's talk about Lilith and Aquarius, okay? Now I feel like this is my personal opinion. So those of you who have Lilith and Aquarius, you may or may not resonate with what I'm about to say. But when she is in Aquarius, she will come off as arrogant, bougie. But in our reality, she wants to remain in her individuality. That's what she craves when she's in Aquarius. She does not want to be held down or smothered by your emotional connection to her, because people are really drawn to Aquarian people, period, but really drawn to her when she's in Lilith, because she's very confident there. She's very in her self, very authentic, very individual. She craves individuality. So let me give you some examples on how you would see Lilith and Aquarius mount. I know y'all like, why she keep doing that? Mount, because that's them claws mounting up on your shoulders, hovering over you like you better not do this, right? But Lilith and Aquarius, let's say she's talking to a man and he's enthralled, tantalized, mesmerized by her. So now you starting to tell people that's your girl. You giving a title or throwing a title on her that she ain't agreed to. Can't do that. Because you are, for one, you're lying. She never told you we're together. And even if y'all are headed that way, you haven't properly asked her out, right? You haven't engaged. You haven't did the do. So it's so many reasons that she would reject that energy and would mount up on you or put you in your place immediately and tell you, hold on, brother. Nah, hold up. Secondly, she's going to hold out from even responding to you if you do go about it the right way, because she's wanting to hold on to her individuality for as long as possible, right? Aquarius is ruled by the element of air, but we know that she is also representative of the water barrier. So she knows how to flow and put you in your emotions, but she's not going to allow you to do that to her. And if you try it, if you try to sneak in your emotions on her, if you try to flood her with your emotions, if you try to wrap her up in your emotions, if you become emotionally attached to Lilith and Aquarius, you're going to see her chaos is not like some of the other chaos. Her chaos is fleeing. And you're going to find yourself chasing her. You're going to find yourself trying to attach yourself to her in any little way, but you're not going to. And if you do try, if for some reason you're able to capture her and sink your energy into her, then that's another way you'll see her mount up. Okay, you'll see her mount up, and what you'll see out of a Lilith and Aquarius when they mount up is a kind of like a tower moment type of energy. Like she's going to do something that's going to change your whole fucking world. Okay, she's going to like a tornado. Within 10 minutes, a tornado can tear a whole fucking city down. Well, that's the energy that's the chaotic energy that you're going to bring out of a Lilith and Aquarius if you don't allow her to move in her individuality. Don't try to change her. Don't complain about who she is and how she is. Those are other things that will cause her to mount, okay, and become chaotic. Telling her what to wear, trying to boss her. She's one of those type of energies when she's in Lilith where you have to be very confident in who you are while you're with her, whether you're her friend, her lover, her husband, her boyfriend, her girlfriend, wherever she allows you to be placed in her life, you need to move in your individuality. And you need to allow her to still move in hers, because if you try to clunk, she's not a clunker. You can't merge with her. She's not going to allow you to merge. She's not going to allow you to, she's not looking for harmony. She's not looking for harmony. She's looking to accept you in your individuality, and she wants you to do that with her. And if she notices that you are trying to do anything other than that, she's not going to cooperate. And here comes that tornado that's going to change your world. Example, she may just up and leave the country. You're waiting on her to show up at the dinner at the restaurant that you reserved, and she has packed her bags and she has fleed it. Right? And you never get to hear from her again. Okay? Or another example of a Lilith and Aquarius is chaos. You got to doing too much. You got to trying to boss her around and tell her what she can do or tell her what she can't do, trying to make her fit into a mold that you wanted her to fit. And you wake up one day and you blocked from everything, and she's she got a whole nother man. So their chaos isn't so much a physical run up on you mount. They change your world. See, that'll change your world. That's very tornadic, right? That's very tornadic to think that you got her in the bag and wake up and realize you have no access to her. You don't even know where she's at. Or if you do know where she's at, she ain't with you because she done cut you off overnight. You went to work Monday thinking everything was okay. You saw her Wednesday, thought everything was okay. Friday, you get a Dear John letter talking about she want a divorce. I'm telling you, very tornadic. She's not going to be bothered with you trying to chain her or change her. You can't do it anyway. She's an air element. And a lot of people try to hold Aquarius in a sense of like in a energetic dungeon, but you can't. But they try it with their emotions. She's not going to allow you to let your emotions cage her. Now, let's talk about the man who has this placement. He actually wants and desires a woman who is in her individuality, who is authentic. Now, on the surface, he might look like or act like in front of his homeboys that he's the kind of man that I tell my woman what to do. Macho beating his chest, right? But in our reality, that ain't what he wants. He really does crave a woman who's very eclectic, maybe, and a free-spirited woman. He's okay with that. But he has to be a very confident man. See, a lot of times men will have that placement, but they'll have other placements that make them not as confident. So they battle within themselves when they get this type of woman. When they get the and listen, a man who has his Lilith in Aquarius, it don't matter where her Aquarian energy is. He will be drawn to her, but won't know how to handle her. He'll just know that there's some type of innate pulling to this type of woman. Even if his sun and moon are in other, let's just say his sun and he got a Capricorn sun and a Sag moon. Those type of men want a woman who's going to be structured by their words, structured by their emotions, structured by what they want you to do. But that Lilith and Aquarian energy that'll be within him will make him crave a woman who does her own thing. So he'll have a conflict. He'll be conflicted and confounded by that energy, because it'll be like he wants her to be free and he wants her to be, you know, authentic. But then he also wants to tell her, don't wear that, don't do that, don't go there, wait a minute, hold on, we didn't plan that, woo. And Lilith and Aquarius is going to be looking at him like, okay, you finna get cut off. I'm finna make it hard for you to breathe. Reminds me of the song No Air by Jordan and who was that, Chris Brown? No air, air. Lilith and Aquarius cuts your air off when they going in their chaotic mode, because again, they don't raise up. Their chaos isn't physical. Their chaos is mental. They cut your air. And see, you still be in love with them. You still be in love with them. Or you think you got them. You think they ain't going nowhere, because see, they don't show a lot of, I'm finna leave you. They're not like that. Like I said, you just wake up one day and they're gone. They've left. So if you are a man who has his Lilith and Aquarius, just understand that you crave this type of woman, but get your other masculine placements in check. Because if your confidence and your ego and your pride won't let you accept this woman, then you're going to lose her anyway. Okay? All right, so that is it for the Lilith in air signs. Okay, so we're gonna move straight on. I didn't realize this would stop burning. We're gonna move straight on into Lilith in them fire signs. Now I'll go ahead and start with Aries, because that was the video that initially started this. I started talking about the Lilith in Aries woman and how she's very masculine. Lilith in Aries really doesn't like to be there, because she's going up against that Mars energy, and she doesn't necessarily care for that masculine Mars energy. I'm looking for another instant, y'all. She doesn't care being conjunct with Mars, because Mars is masculine. Mars is war. Mars is me, man, forceful, aggressive energy. So can you imagine Lilith being there? When she's the sign of the divine feminine, she's the sign of the divine frequency of the free feminine, being conjunct with Mars. So clearly there's going to be some agitation and static there, right? So as I spoke about her in that prior video, that she is masculine there, because she's having to fight through that masculine energy. She's having to, I'm going to tell you what it makes her do. It makes her want to lead her own life in a very masculine way. And when she gets with men, she's bossy. She's the authoritative one. She doesn't know how to channel her own feminine energy there, because she's so busy battling the masculinity that she's conjunct with, that it makes her very, it makes her very unwilling to, it makes her unwilling to compromise, okay? Makes her very unwilling to move in her feminine energy and allow a man to lead, because she just can't. She's upset there. She's very anal there. She can be selfish there. She can be very if you don't do it my way, hit the highway there. So there's no pull. She's like blue jeans. You know how there's no stretch? I ain't talking about the blue jeans that got a little bit of spandex in them. I'm talking about them old school Gloria Vanderbilt Levi's type jeans. No pull, no stretch, rigid. Ain't no flexibility with Lilith when she's in Aries. So a couple of things that I talked about on that last video that'll make her mount up. Not doing what she tell you to do. Trying to boss her. Not letting her lead. Being very well, she ain't gonna let you be abusive, but coming off as aggressive and abusive to her, matching her energy. Because she's probably abusive, possibly. She's very masculine here, y'all. So you just got to understand, you know, and if you're here, I feel like you have some understanding of the energy of the different signs and the personality traits and how it projects itself and casts itself out through humans, okay? So you understand what I'm saying. Oh, it went out. You understand what I am saying, that she's rough and tough. With her afro puffs. Y'all know that song, I rock rough and tough with my afro puffs. Rage, rock on with your bad self. Actually, that's a perfect song to describe Lilith and Aries, because she's very raged there. Very raged, because she don't want to be there. And I feel like she says, if I'm going to be here, I'm going to wreak havoc. You're going to do what I tell you to do. And if you don't, you're going to feel my wrath. And listen, because that's a fire sign, it's physical. So her wrath could be very physical. She could literally haul off and smack you. She could literally she could left eye your home and set it on fire. Okay? She could do some things that you're going to feel her mounting up. Ain't nothing like Aquarius, okay? It's physical. Okay? So if you're a man with Lilith and Aries, unfortunately, you like toxic shit. Unfortunately, you like women who are toxic, who fight and burn your clothes and bust your windows. You're drawn to that. And even though everybody around you blames the woman because seemingly she's the one that's being this way, but secretly, that's what you crave. You like toxicity. You like drama. You do certain things to incite her Lilith and Aries energy. You are the kind of person who thrives off of that. And excuse my French, but there's a song, I cannot remember this song, but anyway, it talks about this couple and all they do is fuck and fight. That's the type of relationship that a Lilith and Aries man is drawn to. He's attracted to that. So that's what y'all do. Most toxic relationship ever. In my opinion, you need to run. You don't need to go toward this type of woman. But then again, some people thrive off of their toxicity. Well, you're going to get it there. And again, the different ways you're going to see her mount up is it could be verbal abuse. It could be physical abuse. It could be very dominating, controlling, bossy. But you desire that type of woman. Now, your other placements may flow with it. You may be a weaker sign that allows her to do that. And if you are, you probably have a lot of problems with your family because they see that she runs the show. And they looking at you like, man, why you let her do such and such and such and such? And you may not even can explain why you allow her to do this, because whatever it is that makes you desire her, it's innate. It's within you. You're okay with it, even though to the outside world, it's crazy, it's toxic, it's unhealthy. And maybe some of your other placements even be trying to deny it. Like, no, but you give in. Yeah, because it's a desire. You just have a predisposition already placed in you to want and accept that type of woman, okay? So if you have that placement, be a man or a woman, now you understand why you operate like that, okay? So the next one is Leo, Lilith in Leo. Now she's very proud here. And listen, it's only one thing that's gonna make you get fucked up by a Lilith in Leo if you try to stop her shine. Now, a Lilith and Leo woman is going to have the type of man who's okay with her being very flamboyant. She's probably the kind of woman that's going to dress very provocative. Because she's not going to allow you to stop her from showing her light. She came here and decided to put herself in a vessel where she could move in her lioness. She's very feline. She's probably very built very nicely. Women with Lilith and Leo normally have a very nice build. Some of them may be very thick and voluptuous, and some of them may be small but curvy, but they normally have a very nice body, and they do not mind showing it off. Even some voluptuous women, even some of the BBWs, they don't care nothing about the world calling them fat and out of shape, heavy, whatever. They still be very seductive and very sexual in how they carry themselves. And if you get in the way, don't stop her shine. Don't stop her from moving in her seductive energy. You better be confident enough to deal with a woman who is always looked at no matter where she goes, who's always complimented. She gets everybody's attention. As soon, you know that part of that song when Drake said, dang, what did he say? Something make everybody uncomfortable. I can't think of it. Maybe it'll come to me at the end, but it reminds me of a Lilith and Leo woman. I can't think of it right now, but he says it in the song, and every time I hear it, I'm like, that's a Lilith and Leo woman. Ass so big, got the whole, I cannot remember it, but I'm going to remember it and put it down in the description, because it's a perfect example of a Lilith and Leo woman. And anytime you try to stop her shine, anytime you try to stop her from receiving all of that glory, all of that light, the mount up she's going to do on you is she's going to crush your confidence. The things that she's going to say to you is going to crush your confidence. The things that she's going to do to you is going to crush your confidence because you're fucking with hers. Leo and Lilith women move in a very confident manner. And the more they are allowed to move in that, that's what builds their confidence. So if you start acting up, jealous because they're getting looked at, jealous because another person tells them they fine, mad because your homeboys are looking at them, mad because, if you're that type of person, then she's going to claw with your confidence. She's going to claw at it to the point where you're going to feel so low in your self-esteem that you're probably just going to go, which is ultimately what she would want anyway, because she doesn't need you to feel secure. She doesn't need you to feel confident. Now, another way you will see her mount up and claw you is to not give her compliments. Fuck around and tell her she don't look beautiful. Fuck around and tell her that, oh, I don't think you look good in that. Like see her in her glory and then try to shoot her down with a negative comment. These are all things that Lilith and Leo will not stand for. She's not going to allow you to kill her confidence. You better come in the door worshiping and praising her and helping her build the confidence. Because she'll stop fucking with you. And they the kind of person, too, that'll say, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. So, see, they'll go get somebody that looks 1,000 times better than you, because they are big power couple people, too. They want someone who's just as confident as them. They want to both show up at the Grammys looking good. They want to both show up at the family reunion looking good. So, Leo is the type of person, no matter where the Leo placement is, they need to both be equally fat. They need to both be equally beautiful. If you if you dealing with self-esteem issues, low confidence, trauma and drama from childhood that got you not looking at yourself as highly favorable, you don't need a Leo person, period. But you definitely don't need a Lilith and Leo woman, because she's going to she's either gonna make you or break you. Now, let's talk about the men who have that placement. You desire a woman who is fine. You actually want a woman who makes other women feel uncomfortable. You want the type of woman that other men look at, but you're confident enough to know that she ain't going. You're confident enough to know, and I think your people, your family members, everybody around you will probably be like, why you let her wear that? Why you let her come out the house like that? Why you condone her being so flamboyant? But it's something about your woman being that confident, being that fine, being that thick, being that beautiful, being that free, that boosts your confidence. Because and you know she ain't going nowhere. And you are the kind of man that likes other men to look at your woman and know that they can't have her. So it's a really, really seductive placement. And when Lilith is in Leo for a woman, she needs a man who's okay and confident with her being seductive. And if you don't like that, like a Capricorn ain't got no business with a Leo, because Capricorn men don't like their women to be show-offy. A Capricorn man really wants his woman to cover up. He want one of them women that, you know, and no shade to the Muslim women who honor their tradition, but Capricorn men love that because, see, they don't have to, there's no competition. A man who has his Lilith and Leo loves the competition because he know he done already won. He the kind that'll hit his gal ass and be like, go on out there, baby, and show him, and then come on back and sit down by daddy. You know what I'm saying? They just confident, very confident. But on the flip side, like I said earlier, if you don't give her them compliments, if you try to tell her what she can't wear because it's too revealing, or, you know, dang, you sit your ass down somewhere, you always trying to be seen, and baby, she gonna shred you to pieces. You gonna feel like a little old bitch by the time she finishes. I doubt if it's physical, because she doesn't have to get physical to ruin you. Her lick back is going to be very emotionally strange for you. You're going to feel uncovered. You're going to feel like a little naked man by the time she finished ripping you to pieces, because you're not confident enough to be with her. Don't steal her shine, and don't not let her shine. And that's another thing. Don't try to outshine her. You better shine with her, because if you try to outshine her, because they're very competitive too. So if you try to outshine her, if you don't just walk with her, so both of y'all can look good together, if you try to outshine her, then you trigger a competitive energy in her. She gonna forget you her man. She gonna forget that, okay, because her mind ain't looking at, oh, this is my man. She's looking at, this motherfucker trying to compete with me. Challenge accepted. So know your position and be okay with her being the light. Because, baby, she's got it and she's in it and she's not gonna let you kill it. Okay? So last but not least, let's go ahead and jump straight on into this Sagittarius. Listen, let me light this back up for Sag, because them Lilith and Sag women, baby. Woo. So they actually kind of remind me of Aquarian women, but with just a little more spice. Okay? So the Lilith and Sag woman, she's going to be, she's going to move by her own philosophy anyway. She's going to make up her own rules as she goes, because her whole thing is fuck society, Fuck what they think. Come on, baby. Let's just do us. Let's move in this sense of freedom. Let's write our own rules. They the kind that when they get married, they don't want to say the traditional vows. Let's write our own vows. Let's wear our own colors. I don't want to wear white. I don't want to wear a dress. And I don't want you to wear no tuxedo. Let's do our own thing. They believe in being very free and allowed. And you don't even have to allow them, but I just use the word allow because they want to be allowed to just be themselves. And if you don't allow that, they're going to do it anyway. And then you're going to feel the wrath of whatever it is that they have written on their own that they're going to do to you. They're not. You don't see a. First of all, you don't see a Sag person coming anyway. But you're definitely not going to see a Lilith and Sag coming because they're not going to allow you to track how they're getting ready to come to you. So it's going to be a all of a sudden or a out of the blue type mounting that they're going to do on you. Okay, women who have their Lilith in Sag, because that's another masculine placement, but she's comfortable there because it allows her to be intense. Okay, she's conjunct with Jupiter, so she's going to be very intense. She's going to be very the most. She's going to do the most, and the reason that I said that she's very in alignment a little bit with Aquarius is because she's not going to let you stop her. Where Aquarius is air, so you can't stop air no way. Sag is fire, and you're going to get burned if you do try to stop her. You got to keep in mind the energy of Sag is free yourself. Free yourself. But they want to do it together. Where Aquarius wanted to do is separate. Don't try to merge with me. I believe in individuality. You do you, I do me, and we just come together and understand that we're two different people who just enjoy being around each other. But you don't have to change. I don't have to change. Well, that's not it's like that with Sag, but Sag wants to merge with someone who feels how they feel too. We're not trying to change one another. We're going to come in and merge this fire. And we're going to change the world. We're going to do our own thing. We're going to make our own mark in this world. And if you try to stop that, if you try to stop Lilith and Leo from doing that, you're going to get burned. You're going to get burned. You're going to get burned. And it's an expansive burn. You're going to have third degree, first degree, second degree, all them degree burns from Sag, from a Lilith and Sag woman. You're going to get burned. So my thing with Lilith and Sag women, y'all got to learn how to stop going out because y'all can be a little shallow because you're very physical. So you want what you see. Sometimes y'all do stuff on the surface and y'all don't go too deep. If they look good to you, they feed your lowerings, they feed your fleshly desire, then you go with that and you tend to get mad at them when they don't meet the requirements of being the type of fire that you are. So y'all got to stop doing that. Go get your match. Get your equal. Now, the Lilith in Sag for men, y'all actually do want a woman who is kind of rebellious and hard-headed. Y'all kind of like the women that's all over the place. It's something about her that helps free you. Now, some of your other placements might make you be like, dang, why won't she just get her ass somewhere and sit down? And it might try to override your Lilith and Sag placement. But ultimately and innately, you are attracted to a very fiery woman who goes and gets it on her own. She's very go-getter. She's very go-getter. She's not waiting on no man to go do nothing. If you want to, that's why I said earlier, she wants a man to merge with her. Let's get it together. But if you don't, I'm going to go get it on my own anyway. And a lot of times men don't like that type of woman because you can't tell that kind of woman nothing. You're not going to be, first of all, you're not going to be able to tell, you're not going to be able to tell no Lilith in none of these signs nothing unless it's a Libra. Now, you can boss them Lilith and Libra women around because, again, remember, they looking for balance. So as long as you're not throwing them off balance, as long as whatever you're bossing and telling them to do still makes them balance, you can boss that Libra woman. But you ain't bossing no woman in fire. No Lilith in Sag, no Lilith in Leo, no Lilith in Aries. You ain't bossing. She ain't even getting ready to hear you none. Because as soon as you come off as aggressive, as soon as you come off as like you trying to control her, you finna get burned. You gonna get burned. See, women, Lilith in water and Lilith in earth, we gonna let you, and I say we because I'm a Lilith in Cancer, I'm a Lilith in water woman. We're going to let you not boss us, but we will allow you to lead until you fuck up. But Lilith in a air, Lilith in a fire, ain't gonna let you do that. They ain't finna give you the opportunity to fuck up. You just better, that's why they one thing that I just mentioned earlier, that's why they have to be careful of the type of person they pick. Because on the surface, you could look like what they want, but you don't embody any of the qualities that they need. So they end up leaving you or cheating on you with somebody who they can merge with. So Lilith and Sag women, just make sure you get your equal. Go beneath the surface, because they may look like exactly how you want a partner to look, and then you find out maybe when it's too late, after you done had kids with them, after you done had invested time in them, that they just don't respect your flame. They don't have this free flowing energy, and they don't see what you see. But you done already invested too much in them or accepted too many things about them. So now you got to kind of try to pull yourself up to get yourself back in your own energy. So just be careful with that. But men who have that, listen, if you are not the kind of man who has a forward thinking, intensely desiring type of energy, then leave a Lilith and Sag woman alone, because she wakes up on the go. The kind that just up and move. Leave everything. Let's go, baby. Let's just leave this shit. Let's go do something different. Because they are always looking for the next best opportunity. The next best experience. But you got to be on their level. And if you try to stop them, if you're not with it, if they see that you are lazy and you don't have no money making energy, no new experience making energy, if they feel like that your energy decreases theirs, if they feel like your energy deflates theirs, if they feel like anything about you causes them to have to shrink themselves, water themselves down, you're going to see Lilith in Sag mount. And they can become abusive. They can become abusive. And I say abusive, but really it'll just be the way that they are showing you that you're not getting ready to stop their expansion. You're not going to stop their fire. You're not going to put out their flame. Every other element can put out fire. Earth can put out fire. Air can put out fire. Water can put out fire. So no matter where your fire is, but especially Lilith in Sag, Lilith in Leo, Lilith in Aries, y'all got to be, more than anybody else, y'all got to be very careful who y'all mess with. Because that, like I said, all of those other elements can put your fire out. So just do your homework on these people, because I feel like y'all probably catch it the most. Because you do live by your own words. You live by your own imagination. And you want somebody who's going to merge with that. And if they try to stop that, it really causes a chaotic energy to come out of you that could be very Sekhmet-like. Sekhmet, the lion head god, is very much like Leo. Very Sekhmet. Very Kali. A chaotic goddess that's not going to allow you to stop their flames from expanding. Okay, so I am done. I have finished up Lilith around the zodiac. I hope that you resonated with it. Find your Lilith sign and see if it made sense. And even if you don't know your Lilith sign, you know if the energy that I spoke of resonated with how you operate in certain areas of your life. But ultimately, Lilith is a woman's bitch mode. And Lilith in a man is the type of bitch he loves. Even if he lies and denies it to his friends and family and co-workers, deep down inside, he loves that bitch. Okay? All right, good people. Thank you so much for watching this in its entirety. Again, go back and watch part 1 if you have not. But if you did, thank you and namaste.